ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Senator Gillibrand, tell us a little bit more about your plans to help people in cities.
Well, I have to say the mayor just took me on a really powerful tour of how important it is to invest in communities. After there's a disaster like Flint, Michigan survived with its water crisis, we need to look at how the federal government can help more. So there's three things I would do as president to change an outcome like what happened here in Flint. First of all, we need to make sure when there is a man-made disaster like what happened here in Flint, that federal money can be used to help the city recover and to help families recover. So I would amend the Stafford Act to make sure, number one, you can have a FEMA-style response for a man-made disaster like this, so funds can go directly into a community, into a city like this to start rebuilding the infrastructure, start delivering safe water, and also make sure it's deliverable to individuals. So just like you can get a FEMA grant after a disaster, I've heard from the mayor there are families whose all the water infrastructure in their house has been corroded and is now no longer safe. Things like your hot water heater, things like your faucets, your pipes that come into your bathtubs. If those that infrastructure is corroded and leaching lead, then it doesn't matter how clean the water is in the treatment facility because it's still coming into your house as tainted water. So I would do that. Second of all, I would make sure that we invest in infrastructure nationwide. The experts, engineers have come up with a figure of $1 trillion over 25 years are needed to just ensure safe drinking water for all Americans. So I would aspire to have a $400 million budget over 10 years just for safe drinking water in all states. And last, I think we need to have accountability. I think it's really important that in this crisis that we just talked about, that there is a way to hold people accountable who have lied to the public, who have forced unsafe drinking water on people and their families. And so I will have the ambition to do full investigations through our Department of Justice when we have the kinds of situations that happened here in Flint.
Senator, why do you think President Trump hasn't been here?
Because he doesn't care. He just doesn't care. And worse off, what President Trump has done is he lied to the American people. He is somebody who says he would, he made a joke in one of his press conferences that you used to not be able to drink the water in Mexico and cars were made in Flint, but now you can't drink the water in Flint and cars are made in Mexico. So he made a joke about the suffering of this community. So as president, I would do another thing. I would set a very different standard for how much lead would be allowed to be in water. I would have an ambition to have 0 parts per million, parts per billion, not the pathetic level that today's EPA wants. This EPA under President Trump is rolling back protections for families and for requirements for safe drinking water. I would also make sure the bottled water standard is 0 parts per billion, not 5 parts per billion. It's just not good enough.
Senator, a lot of presidential candidates have been here in both 2016 and now for the 2020 cycle. How do you convince the residents of Flint that this is more than just a photo op?
Because I'm here to listen. I've spent time with the mayor. She's taken me to see some of the highlights, the fact that she now has a system that can capture water from the air, and sunshine through condensation. I drank the water, it's delicious. The fact that she's taken me to these new small businesses that are growing in this community, because Flint needs more than just clean water. It also needs investment. It needs the opportunity for entrepreneurs here to create businesses, start businesses, and have families. And so I think leadership and local control is so evidently important, especially being with our mayor here today.
Senator, I believe there's only that you are the second 2020 candidate to be there. I think Secretary Castro is here. Do you expect that other competitors in 2020, other running for that will be here?
I don't know. I can tell you that I'm here, and the reason I'm here is because I want to show Democrats in the early states, like places like New Hampshire and Iowa, the number 1 question, the number 2 question, the number 3 question they have is, can you beat Trump? And so by being here in this community, in Michigan, in Ohio, in Pennsylvania, I am showing the American people and showing Democrats that not only can I beat President Trump, but this is how I'm going to beat him. I'm going to go right to his backyard and talk about his failure of leadership, his broken promises, all the things he told the American people that he would do, and earn their vote. So voters in Michigan and Ohio and Pennsylvania were frankly lied to. When he makes jokes about making sure our water's clean and then does nothing It just shows he didn't mean what he said. When he says no bad trade deals and then enters into a trade deal with Mexico that guarantees record profits by pharmaceutical industries, he didn't mean what he said. When he said, I'm going to have the best health care that's less expensive and everybody has it, and I'll take on prescription drug prices, and then never stands up to the pharmaceutical industry or the insurance industry, you know he was lying. And so I just want to make sure voters here in Michigan know that they've been misled and that they need a champion like me, someone like the mayor, who's going to fight for them and put their families first. And do you have any questions for the mayor?
Senator, I have a question. Do you think only citizens should be able to vote?
Only citizens? I do. And Madam Mayor, let's talk a little bit about the priorities for your city.
Well, you said we have one of the things we've talked about is the need for appliances, in-home plumbing, water heaters, those kinds of things. We've talked about the importance of economic opportunities for the people here in the city. And as we walked around, you've seen some of the comeback that we talked about, how strong and resilient Flint is. But I think the most important thing was what you hit on as far as that emergency manager law, because that was what got us into this, and making sure we stay on point with that and addressing that, because that was what took our voice, that was what took the voice of the people, the power of the elected officials, and we have to make sure that doesn't happen again, and the importance of Flint being a leader and a lesson to all of these other places around the country, because we know Flint represents so many other places that have water quality issues like we talked about, infrastructure problems, how do you handle a public health crisis, and how do you bring your city back economically and give opportunity to people. So I think those were the things you talked about that, and it's good to hear those things.
How important is it for presidential candidates to visit to make sure that this continues to be part of our nation?
How important is it
For the presidential candidates to come.
It's very important for them to come, because what happened in Flint should never happen again. And one of the things we know is it needs to stay in the spotlight, not just for Flint, but for others all across this country. And I think that it's important because for voting. And we talked about that as our people get out and vote, and they need to know that our voice and that we matter. And when President Trump is coming, they're telling you that Flint is important. Flint's important not just to Flint, but to the country. And we don't want this to happen again.
And interestingly, you know, spending some time with the mayor, she was able to show me breakthroughs that Flint's actually making in how to produce clean water, but also the testing they're doing that will be applied to water systems across the country. They are now figuring out under her administration how you can have pipes that don't corrode, pipes that provide clean water, how you treat them, and they're doing breakthrough technology right now on making sure we have clean water. So I've personally learned a lot just by coming here, listening to the mayor about what families in Flint have suffered and what their goals are today. It's always about the broader economic opportunity so that their children aren't left behind, so they can provide and earn their fullest capability and have partners in the federal government to provide resources.
Exactly. And that's what we partners in the
And are you endorsing a candidate?
I haven't done anything, but I will tell you that I'm so glad Senator Gillibrand is here, and that we've had a really good conversation, and that she has shown that she is concerned about Flint, and Flint is important to her, and people are important to her, and that we have lessons here that others need to learn, and that she would be an advocate. Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Madam Mayor. Really, God bless. Thank you.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for coming out.
Indie News? Yep. Oh, cool. Thank you.